Good morning, guys. Here we go. All right, there we go. There's the sound. Hopefully that's a little bit better. And we are live. Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? I haven't. Okay, I had an echo there. I just had to mute myself real quick. I'm showing more of my desk than I usually do, but that is all right. We've just got a little sticker up here in the corner, so we can remove that. This is one of my Blue Moon stickers and some glue tape. I was working on other things recently here at the desk, so I just have a little bit of stuff still in the way. There we go. That'll get rid of most of it. All right. So, good morning. It is time to plan our week. This week, we are using these super pretty, kind of pastoral, I guess, if you will, washis from the Lord of the Rings um, that I got from Alice in Walesland. And I want to show you, because I didn't do it on camera, but I did here swatch these particular items that I got in that small stationery haul. So I took this card that was super cute. I liked it. I took some of the stickers from Wise Minerva Studios. So we have the card uh, from the desk from Zero's desk, and then some stickers from Wise Minerva Studio, and then this Alice in Walesland little card that came with hers, and then the three just beautiful washes that we have along with the other side of the packaging. I put the one side of this in my swatch book and then the other side here. And so today we are going to use these two washes. Um, but it was just nice to kind of stick this. It's interactive, you kind of have little things that pull out and open, and it looks all nice and um, it's kind of hidden back there, but it's still there. So that was what I ended up doing with that. I have a recipe here that I want to try, and a little blurb about how I always find Friday the 13th to be lucky. And just so these are some of the ways in which I use these extra pages. Good morning, Keisha. How you doing? I'm just looking at some of my daily pages that I had last week or the week before, actually. Um, and because we're going to be using these two washes, and I love this little interactive aspect of this page where you kind of have all of these different areas that open and reveal things. Um, and it's just stuck in with other washi. And I tried to pick a washi that I had where I have two of these, and this particular version matches the front of this card a little bit better, and then this version matched this ribbon here a little bit better, and the colors in this. And so they kind of coordinate, but not really, right? And so that was kind of the intention there. And I was saying, I saw this recipe on another YouTube channel, like her homestead, and so I want to try it. It's an instant pot stroganoff, and then, and this is terrible. Uh, this was me following her working on the recipe in her video. And so it's, like this step really takes place after this step, and it's kind of messy. So I suggest watching her video if you really actually wanted to try this. And then just a little blurb that I have about how Friday the 13th is lucky. Um, that is a previous week. And you also might notice I have very different looking hands right now. I went and got my nails done on Monday. Um, because I had the day off on Monday. And so I decided that I would go and get my nails done. And so I think this is the first video that is going to show up on the channel that where the nails are done. So I've filmed several videos where the nails are done already, but this is the first time that they're done here. Um, so those videos won't post until later. So anyway, we are going to start with this very pastoral washi. This one has Gandalf in it, and I absolutely love it. We are going back to my kind of standard layout for this week. There's a lot going on this week, and not a lot of timed events, but there's just a lot I need to keep track of, and I really want to be on top of my game this week. And so having my kind of familiar layout is going to help me stay on top of my game. So, see, look at how pretty that is with the little hobbit hole. It's just so cute. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. This particular washi company, um, she isn't really a washi company at all. Her main business is that she um, paints books. So I was supposed to have book club today, but some of our members weren't able to do it this week, so we moved it to next week. So I don't I have book club now on this Sunday. Um, but yeah, so she usually paints the side of a book, book edges. And so you can send her, say, this book, and she will paint the side of the book. And so she has them kind of coordinated to the different books. So she has a Lord of the Rings series, and then she has a Jane Austen series with a couple things from Jane Austen, and she has a couple things from Harry Potter. Now I have a ton of Harry Potter washi already, so I really don't need Harry Potter washi. And although her washi is cute, and although I like Jane Austen, I don't know if I like her enough to get full washis from there. So if they do come back into stock, I may order again, and in order to make the order kind of worth it. Uh-oh. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Looked like I froze for a minute. In order to make the order worth it, I might actually get some of the Jane Austen washi or some of the Harry Potter washi, because you're shipping from another country, and anytime you're doing that, that has a tendency to it takes a while. Um, so hopefully Now, I'm also going to say, hopefully, you are only hearing me because my partner is in the other room and yelling at a basketball game. So if you hear it come through, please let me know, and I will ask him to tone it down a little. But for right now, I'm going to assume it's not coming through. So Alice in Walesland is in the UK. So she is in Great Britain, um, somewhere. I'm guessing Wales, based on Alice in Walesland. But I'm not 100% sure on that one. Um, we are going to be ambitious, and we're going to try to get to work by 8. I always say that, and I mean, I can get to work by 8, but I don't. And a lot of times it's because I'm just worried that, you heard him earlier. No, he's yelling at a basketball game. I'm sorry about that. If it gets distracting, please let me know and I will ask him to quiet down a little bit. He's just yelling at the TV. Um, Man, goodness. I am working an hour late here. So this is one of the reasons why I kind of need to go back to my traditional structure so that I can see things like this. Yep, the other shop that I shared was from Canada, and the Coffee Monsters Co. is from Canada. There's quite a few Canadian sticker shops. Uh, so it's an easy mistake to make, or an easy assumption to assume that sticker shops are in Canada, because they frequently are. I think I may have written this bit far over. Yep, I did. I am not going to have room to write 8 to 4 there, so I'm just going to write it here. There we go. Um, all right. Now, in terms of work, I do have, in the middle of work this week, a very fun event. That is right here on the 26th at noon. So I'm just going to block this out. And this is why I'm going to be staying late at work on Thursday. I'm going to get a special sticker for this. Before I write in what it is. Here we go. I'm going to take one of these. This is tea and gossip. Now, I'm not having tea. I'm having lunch, but I'm sure there will be plenty of um, discussion. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this kind of on an angle here so that I can write easier. But I am having lunch with my aunt. She is going to come meet me at work and we're going to go across the street and have some lunch. Oh, I'm glad you like that haul. It was interesting because every once in a while I get a few small things to try new places, or because, like with these stickers from Zero's desk, I love just the exact size and shape of these particular stickers, and I've already started using them, and I want that consistency throughout. And so, you know, I don't want to necessarily make a big giant purchase that I don't have to make in order to get those. But having three of those orders come in at once was really helpful because it means that I can kind of showcase some shops that maybe don't get a bunch of love. Ah, great. Um, I love that you follow me on the Instagram challenge. I'm gonna keep it up for myself, but I totally forgot to post yesterday, and so I am officially out of the official challenge, so you won't see that um, anymore on Insta. You won't see the me tag that challenge, but for my own personal growth, I am going to try and continue to participate on Instagram. Um, so, it's not even a week and I already forgot. It's crazy. I'm going to put a hobbit hole up here and I want to get the whole hobbit hole. So I'm going to, the whole hobbit hole, goodness. Um, so I'm going to focus on where it ends versus where it starts, just to make sure that I get that here, which means we're going to have a little bit to cut off. So I'm using this to mark my weekend. So we will cut it off right here. And this lovely little bit of washi gets to go back into my very cool. Um, this is starting to become just such a fun little space here. Um, so there it lives. We went to trivia this week, and this was the outline of the little stickers that we got to use for our mulligans for trivia. If you've not participated in a trivia night, um, here in St. Louis, they have something called a mulligan each round. And so we participated in Harry Potter trivia, and the way the mulligan works is you get 5 stickers, one for each of the rounds that allows a mulligan. And if you want to use your mulligan, you stick the sticker on whatever question you don't know. So that's what that is. So we just, Malcolm kept the outline of the stickers. So just having a fun place to put that. It's always nice to have a place to put those little fun objects that you really don't have any other, where else would I put something like that? It's so great to have a journal and have a place to keep that memory. Um, and this will always be a memory of that particular evening, um, even here in this back page. So we have that lunch on there now. I am going to put in book club. And actually, I want to fill that all the way in. And I'm actually, for book club, I'm going to use one of these. Um, these are from the Coffee Monsters Co. And I'm going to unbox this particular item. Did I unbox it already? Nope, I unboxed this on Tuesday. So you'll see the unboxing on Tuesday. We have another one from the Coffee Monsters Co. It is one of my favorite shops. Oh, I'm definitely better at Harry Potter trivia versus Oscars trivia. I have watched the Oscars every year since I was 5. However, I do not I could not tell you who won last year. I get so immersed in the experience of just watching that I really don't pay attention to all the detail around it. And so I'm going to have that go off the page just a little bit. Um, so I am terrible at Oscars trivia, despite having watched it every single year since I was 5. I I'm awful at it. Absolutely awful. Um, so that's my trivia about Oscars trivia. Um, I couldn't tell you a thing. Nothing. Um, but I always enjoy watching. When I was a little girl, I wanted nothing more than to act in movies. That was all I ever wanted to do growing up. I even went to school for it originally out of high school. And obviously that didn't end up working out, but um, the little girl in me still always really, really enjoys the Oscars every single year. Uh, so we have got book club here. And here at 9, we're going to plan together. So Keisha, are you planning your week as well right now? Put live and interesting letters going down like that. And let's see, what else do I I'm trying to put in the big known things. I do have a meeting that I can put in, my normal meeting. Again, things will come up during the week. This week, I had a 2-hour drapery meeting. 2 hours to discuss and coordinate the draperies for the hotel. Oh, you're going to the farmer's market today. Excellent. Fantastic. Um, that sounds like fun. Making that into an art page. That's awesome. I love it. Um, there was a farmer's market here yesterday. Yesterday, I was very, very lazy. So, yesterday I was just really super lazy yesterday. Um, I'm not sure why. Maybe my body just needed it. I don't know. But I'm going to look through. I just got some weekend stickers, so we're going to take a quick peek. So you're going to get to see a sneak peek of some of these stickers that I got that are coming in the unboxing because I have, oh, there they are. I have these weekend stickers. And which one do I want to use? I think I'm going to use the yellow. And these are stickers that, of course, I recently got and have not yet put away. That's fantastic. Oh my gosh. That is just so great that has found a way to turn something that he's very passionate about into a little side income. That is absolutely fantastic. Hopefully he'll carry that over into adulthood. I absolutely love that. Um, All right. So, let's see, what else do we have going on? Well, we've got of course, we've got date night that we can get in here. And again, this past date night, we didn't go to a movie. Um, oh, that's awesome. Publishing. That is fantastic. I love that they're pursuing that. That is so fantastic. All right. So here we go. Okay. Now let me I love these colors too. They're all working together. I pulled out this really bright one because it coordinates with kind of these highlights throughout. Um, and I was like, when I saw it with the others, I went, oh my gosh, that's not going to work. But it really actually does work. It's so fun. I really love the way they turned out in the YouTube planner. Uh, I already did that one. I often do that one first because I want to be ready when I start creating all the other YouTube videos that I do on the weekend. So, um, it's really nice to have that ready to go before I get too heavily into the weekend. So I've already done that one and I absolutely love it. Um, oh, this week is a rest week. That's excellent. Henry Ford is an interesting character. Um, Lots and lots to learn from, but also, kind of lots to learn in terms of business and business knowledge, and maybe not so much to learn in terms of as much in terms of personal history, personal life. I hear he wasn't the nicest of guys. Um, but certainly a very, very interesting businessman. And we can always learn about character from the good and the not so good, right? There's always that what to do and what not to do. So, all right, we're going to use one of each here. There we go. All of our colors. So we are going to put posting, reading. It's actually kind of a good thing that the Seattle Book Club moved. Watching because I have not finished the book yet. And I really, really don't like going to book club without having finished the book. That's just not my thing. Um, I always want to have finished the book. So if it had been today, I probably would have stayed up all night, um, trying to finish it just so that I wouldn't have to sit there without having finished reading. Um, so there's that. I do need my sleep tracker. I'm going to put that right. Oh, you know what I need before I do that, because that I always forget, is I want to make the week bigger. So we're going to white that out and get our week. Here. Oh, I have started this kind of little collage here of some of the different places that I've ordered from. Um, some of their packaging materials here on the back. I kind of felt like they might overwhelm my junk page. So this page, I felt like, especially with some of these larger pieces, it might get overwhelming in here. And so, um, you know, um, so anyway, that is in there now. And let's see, my train of thought is fleeting right now. I have to say, so I last week, because I had the kit and I used all of those stickers, and I absolutely loved having all the stickers. I'll show you in a minute. I added even more throughout the week because it was so much fun to have them um, included. But that little sleep tracker, the little teeny tiny one, not good. I definitely need or prefer, I don't need, but I prefer a um, bigger one. Oh yeah, a shop's page is nice to track. I like that idea. Go. I like having more room to track the sleep. I find that especially having these grid lines for the different hours and then, very clear definition um, is very, very helpful. But I really did love the sticker explosion. Look at how it turned out. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. And it was fun all the way through the week. I mean, I still got things done. I still saw what I needed to see. I still had, here's that drapery meeting. It was at 10 o'clock in the morning and it lasted until noon. And by noon, I was, my brain was just kind of done for the day after discussing draperies. Um, but I went for a walk here, so I tucked that in on an angle. Um, it was just super, super fun. And then, but then this, I like it, but it's really hard for me to tell exactly where to put things and then exactly how much I actually slept because I don't know where those lines are, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, look at how out of there's no consistency to my sleep tracker either, Keisha. It is just all over the place. Um, it's about to come way back down here for last night because I didn't sleep very well last night. But I haven't checked it this morning. Um, but again, I absolutely loved this layout. This was super fun, but I can't do that every week. It's a lot of chaos for me. Um, there's a lot going on. Um, but one of the things that I found very interesting, so one of my goals in quarter 1, so I'll talk about this more in the goals video um, in more detail. But one of my goals in quarter 1 was to find a vlogging course, right? And to create a video and publish it here to YouTube, like a vlog style video. And so I found a course I already had on Teachable. It's by Kara of Kara and Nate. They are a travel channel and very, very popular. And this is an older video of when she used to do daily vlogs and she did all their editing. And so I am working my way through their course. And so it gives a good kind of overview on how to use Premiere Pro, which I have. Um, I have gone through units 1 through 3, and my goal is that by the end of quarter 1, so by the end of March, I will have made it through all, I believe there are 10 total units. And then each unit has, of course, subunits. So right now I am working on unit 4. I just started that one, and she has included all of their footage from a day in their travels. And so she's included all of the footage from all their different cameras, and our task is going to be to ultimately assemble that into a vlog with her. And so we have gone through organizing all the video clips. We've gone through now creating a timeline on Premiere Pro, and we edited our first clip into the piece that we want to use. And so we're going to, in this next unit, we're going to review the footage from all the other cameras. And so this, I drew on myself and it's distracting me. It doesn't want to go away. This is this Tombow right here. I got myself. Anyway, so we're doing that. I'm doing that this week. So my goal was to get through all of these courses or all of these lessons this week. So I will finish unit 4 this week, and then next week I'll handle 2 more units. But yeah, so I need to put somewhere where I'm going to remember those. So we're going to, I saw some little check boxes. I'm going to put in my vlog over here, or vlog course. Yeah, quarter 2 is right on our heels, and you'll see I do a more in-depth check-in, and that'll drop on Thursday as a video. But it's that last month to pick all this stuff up. So I'm going to don't want those to be the same. I'm going to put in 2 because I don't want to overwhelm myself. So the reason that I had 3 this time was because organizing files is something that's kind of second nature to me. So I was able to go through the organization series very quickly. But after that, all of this working in Premiere Pro, that's starting to get something, starting to be a little bit new to me. And so that is something that I'm going to take a little bit more time with. So we have Kara's vlog course with 2 things. And then one of the other things is that on Sunday, we're into March, right? So in March, one of the things is that I'm supposed to start working on my drone flying skills, and there are 34 lessons. That is a lot of lessons. And so my idea was that I would do 4 on the first and then 1 per day. But I'm going to do those 4 here. Try and get my drone skill lessons in the first 4. So and these are lessons on how to use my specific drone. So I should not have put these away. I'm going to go ahead and use another green. brown, yellow, and suppose another green will be fine. But having these right here on the side of the page like this is going to remind me that these are important to check in with um, for getting towards my goals. Yeah, it is, some are actual flying, but first I'm going to do the course about my particular drone, and then in the next quarter, I will work on taking it out flying places. Right now, it's really windy and cold, and I'm not necessarily as anxious to get outside. But if I do find that I get to a point where I get through these very quickly, I may start flying sooner. I can fly my drone. I do know how to fly it, and I do have the Part 107 license. So I am licensed to fly it. I'm just not very good at flying it, so I'm taking some courses to get better at that. Um, but we are going to, this is Unit 5 and Unit 6. And then we have, this is Lesson 1. Now each of these units has multiple parts, and I'm not sure about this drone class, but I would like to get these 4 out of the way and see, because once I start to get into it, I'll get a better idea of how long it takes me to do a lesson. And so maybe I can do them a bit quicker. I don't know. But this will give me at least a framework. Um, I got the drone to use for vlogging, for fun projects. So originally, when I very first thought about doing a YouTube channel, it was going to be a channel focused on building the bus and then traveling in the bus. At the time, my partner was working remotely. We got the bus. We thought that we would be able to build it out and travel. And since we haven't done that, um, I just decided, you know what, I'm not going to wait for the stars to align and a personal invitation from the universe to start a YouTube channel. And so I started this in August, and it has become very different than what I thought a YouTube channel would be, um, not in a bad way. And so I just, so I had gotten the drones to learn that skill for travel vlogging. Um, so I think that that is where I would be interested most in focusing on the travel vlog, but I don't know for sure. Um, so we'll see. We'll see if I end up, we still have the bus, we just haven't built it out yet. So maybe we will. Although it'd be a little bit hard right now because it's still back in Indiana. So we'd have to get it here. We didn't bring it because we don't have anywhere to put it here, and we have a storage facility back there, so it was easy enough to, I hit my hand again with this marker. It was easy enough to put it in storage back there. So it is happily sitting in a gated storage facility back there. Not ideal, but yeah, this I realized as soon as I started this that it was going to be a learning curve for sure. And so having a channel to practice with, getting comfortable with YouTube, and then taking my time getting comfortable with learning how to create a vlog. So my goal is Kara has all of these videos. Um, and so by the end of this course, I will have created one of her vlogs, but hopefully learning what they videotape and how they look in the raw format, and then how that all gets pieced together into a cohesive vlog will be a learning experience so that I can then come back and create my own vlogs. And so one of them that I want to do is to kind of film how I come back in throughout the week and fill out the rest of these. Right. So this was not this full. It was full, but it was not quite this full when I ended things last week. And now it's just absolutely chaotic, um, crazy full. But it does really kind of showcase what I did today. So, or this week. So I like your request to come back in and talk about that. I just don't have a scheduled time when I sit down and plan. I kind of add things as they come into my brain or as we do them, or as they enter my sphere of awareness, I guess is the easiest way to say that, um, is when I add things. And so it's interesting to try and wrap my head around how I would take so many different clips, and especially how I would film at work. Um, because I do quite frequently duck in here at work. Um, so especially, show you, I have this, the when did I last page, and I've taken to using a highlighter for self-care because I kept forgetting to put it in when I was at home when I had an orange marker. So I just put it in with a um, highlighter there, um, and a yellow highlighter for the car thing, um, instead of this yellow here. So I do tend to kind of do things at work. Um, and I have not filmed at work because I feel like that would be just a little bit awkward. So let's see. Oh, I also have it's going to be a busy morning because we also need to do the merch analytics video. I really like those videos where I'm checking in on how the growth of the channel is. And part of it is because I have always wanted to have a YouTube channel and to create a YouTube channel. And so that, like, watching the progress as I go along has been really, really nice and fun. Um, and so I look forward to those check-ins on the first. So let's see where we're at. We've got the 23rd. It is going to be cold this week, but the weather, I guess I have finally complained enough that it is warm during the week and then cold on the weekends because it's switching things up a little this week. So we have got 33, 53. This pen is starting to have some issues other than just the cap. So look at that. Goodness. I'm going to take this bladder paper, just set it on there right now. Look at that. Goodness. It's everywhere. All right. So much ink. Um, And I am out of Kleenex, so I'm gonna grab one of my, so I've just used this for ink, this Kleenex. So I'm just gonna get any additional ink up from there. It's crazy. Um, and I got some down here. How did I even do that? Where was it? It's all over me. So I think I'm going to have to pull out a new fountain pen. I think it's time that this particular fountain pen retires, which is very sad for me because I absolutely love it. And I got some down here on my, I mean, I guess that's why we have the desk pad, right? So that it doesn't get on the desk itself. But I am not sure why it's doing that. But I think it's time that this pen retires. And I'll bring out maybe one of my other Twisbies for the moment. We're just going to take, though, now that we've gotten the moisture up, I'm just going to go in here with my tape and we will erase that from our memories. There we go. And let's get that. This was also 33 degrees, not crazy ink blob. Goodness. I use this pen all day, every day. I mean, I take it with me to work. I use it at work. So it definitely has been put through its paces, and I've had it for probably 5 years. And I could, now TWSBI does have all of these, um, they, it comes with tools to kind of take the pen apart and rework it. But since the cap is already gone and we've got so many other issues, I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I haven't really decided. But when I say I'm going to retire the pen, I mean I'm going to retire it from everyday use, not throw it away. I'll pick another pen for my everyday use. Now we are supposed to have showers on Thursday. I'll pick a different pen for everyday use, and then I will uh, uh, see. I'll figure out what I want to do with this after that happens. Because again, the cap is ruined or not pleasant looking. So I have really beat this pen up. But this pen has been thrown in my purse pretty much every single day for 6 years, I want to say. And so it is a tried and true friend. It has been with me through a lot, but it has also seen better days. So I don't know if it's worth the time to rescue it in terms of fixing it all up. Because if I do fix it up, this is something I definitely can't fix. I would have to replace it. Um, not to say that I can't do that. I may look into that and see what would be involved with that. But as as far as pens go, it has been a great and trusty, reliable pen until just recently. It has just started to have issues like our little blob um, every once in a while. So this may be a nice pen to send to a nibmeister and have them do a different style nib on here. So nibmeisters often will grind a different nib for you. Um, and so this might be a good candidate for that because of the fact that it's having some issues now, so I could send it to a nibmeister to be fixed, and then maybe change up the style a little and try a different style of pen. Um, One of the things I was looking at was a reverse architect pen, which is a style that gives you kind of a calligraphy style pen, uh, and it is a custom grind. So it's not something that you would typically find in a retail market. Um, I think I'm going to miss the pen show this year. We're going to be out of town the weekend of the pen show. So hopefully I'll get back in town in time to participate a little bit on Sunday, but I doubt that I will be able to get an appointment with any of the Nibmeisters this year. So we'll see. Um, but yeah, that's the nib custom grind nibs are a humongous rabbit hole. Um, so for fountain pens, you're going to be really excited, Keisha, because not this coming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, I have got some new inks. Um, so I got half the order. I only ordered 4 inks, so I don't want to oversell here. But I got half the order in the mail this week on Friday, and the other half is supposed to come early next week. And so we have got 4 new inks that we're going to look at. Um, as soon as that other box comes, I want to open them all together and we will do some new little cards and add them to the collection. But some of them, I got 3 colors that will work on black paper. So that means that I have to get that blackout journal out again, which is a good thing. Hopefully that'll encourage me to do that. Um, so I got 3 of the opaque inks, um, and I'm very excited about that. And then one of the other things I'm excited about is, I did just mention that I got this little stain here today, but I have a lot of stains on my desk pad, and so I have gotten a new purple desk pad that I am going to put down here in this next week because this one is just starting to get some stains that won't come out no matter how hard I wash it. So we have a new desk pad coming as well. Um, all kinds of fun and excitement. So I know there's more on the schedule. I'm just not, it's not on my brain at the moment. So I know, let's see. Here, we're going to have dinner and go to Costco. We recently got a Costco membership. I've never really been a big warehouse person. And fairly recently, Malcolm got offered inexpensive memberships. And with the Costco, um, he got a new key for his car. Look at all this. It's terrible. Oh my gosh, it's everywhere. um, he had them make a new key for his car. And um, so we have to go, it's a 2-part process. They order the key, and then because it's these new electronic keys, they order the key, and then when the key comes in, they they want you to come back to have the rest of the key made. So we have to do that here on this day. And then I have been going to Planet Fitness to use the light box every day here. I'm very tentative to open this up because I'm a little scared of getting more ink on me or all over the paper. My goodness, it's just everywhere. Poor pen. It has been such a good pen to have through thick and thin, but my goodness, there's a lot of ink coming out. I do have other TWSBI pens, so when I say I'm going to swap it out, I'm just going to swap it out for a different color, likely. You know, instead of white, it'll be some other color, and maybe instead of the silver. But all right. And then, speaking of Friday, we need a payday flag for Friday. I forget if I put the actual payday flags in here. Or just the little, I don't think I did. I put these weather icons in here so that I would be reminded to use them, and I still don't remember to use them. um, they are not in here. Okay, they're in my other book. And I think it's because I've kind of fallen off of using the payday flags, but I think I'm going to this week because I've got some room and I absolutely love them. And this little green one will be perfect. I see I have a whole nother set of them. But I do have a payday coming up on Friday, so we will note that right there. Now, I say I have a lot coming up this week. I said that at the beginning of the this live, and I look at my schedule and it doesn't look like I have a lot, but something about this is overwhelming me and I don't know what it is. So it's really interesting to put, you know, once you get it all down on paper, to really look at it and go, well, that's not that much. I mean, it shouldn't overwhelm me, right? That's not a lot going on. So I'm not sure why it feels so overwhelming. It's really interesting to me because I was looking at this next week feeling like I was going to be really, really stressed. And I don't know why that is. Um, so I put a little band here. I'm very tentative to pick this up now. So my boss is out of the office the beginning of this week. So we'll add that in just as a note. She comes back on Tuesday. So other than that, I can't think of anything else. I'm worried that I'm missing something because I feel like there's got to be a reason that I'm feeling that overwhelmed, and I'm not seeing a reason here. You know, there's nothing that feels overwhelming. So maybe it's just all in my head. I am not sure. But that is what I've got planned for the week. So I think I'm just gonna move on to page 2 and do the Alistair list. I want to make sure that it's dry. Okay. I'm going to put that in there. And we're going to move on to this page where I will mercifully use mainly the Sharpie because I'll be drawing up against the edge. Give that fountain pen a break for a while. My other fountain pens, are not in the most convenient location right now, and I would have to ink it. I mean, I could get it within a matter of a minute, but I'm not going to do that in the middle of the video, take the time to get a new pen out and ink it and everything, but right afterwards I will. So if you watch the Monday video, you will see a different fountain pen because we're not going to use this for a whole nother video today. We're going to use the green and the yellow here. I'm thinking maybe it's some tasks that I have on my plate that are freaking me out, and maybe I need to move those to the calendar, a couple of them, but I don't know. So for Easter, I did get, I was invited to Easter at my aunt's again, and it reminded me that we did not travel for Easter. So I am going to stay around here. And I accepted my aunt's invitation. So when that was kind of what prompted our luncheon meetup this week, is that I said we would love to come to Easter, but in the meantime, would you like to come and grab lunch one day? We're at my work. She is only about 10 or 15 minutes away from my work. She actually lives closer to my work than I do. So I will be here on Easter, and I think that it is, I don't think that her family's activity happens until later in the day. And I say her family because she was married to my uncle. My uncle is my mom's brother, and my aunt is his ex-wife. And so her family is, I forgot to write what week it is. Goodness. I'm just all over the place today. We are on week 9. So I'm just going to put it in parentheses here at the end. Usually I write that first. I was so concerned about leaving room for writing 2 months. Oops. But anyway, my aunt and uncle divorced when I was in high school, but she is and always will be my aunt. And so it's very thoughtful of her to include me in her family celebration. There we go. All right. So there is our task list. Now, when I go to transfer the tasks over, I'm not going to do that right now because I think I really need to think about them and what I'm putting onto here. Again, because I have that feeling of overwhelm, I want to be cautious about overloading my week. So I'm going to be very mindful of what I add into this. It could just because it's the end of the month and I'm just kind of having that end of the month energy where I'm feeling like there's a bit more on my plate as of late. Um, it could be that the weather has started to get a little bit nicer and I'm starting to feel like I want to get outside more. Um, Maybe I'm just a little bit antsy for more things to pile on to that. Um, I don't know if you noticed here, but I have barely been watching anything. I have these the lists of what I've been watching, and I've got a lot of things on the list, right? And so it looks very cool. Again, I love the way it looks, but it's I haven't been watching as much TV. Well, welcome, Bedhead. Hi. We were just finishing up the week and talking about some of the other things from last week. Um, this is the plans by Just Scribble. I am in the vertical. This is volume one because she does have a two-part, and this is an A5 that I'm in. Um, it does not come with the owl. I put the owl on after. So if you're not an owl fan, it comes plain. Um, this is the plans by Just Scribble. So this is what my week looks like right now. But since this, I'm guessing, is a new planner to you, I can walk you through really quick what's involved in here. We have, a really nice, very clear and easy to see yearly. We've got our calendex here with all the different days. I use this as an index for whatever I'm including on the pages that day. We've got some goal setting elements here. And then for the quarter, you have that same goal spread again. I added all these colors. It is very similar to the Hobonichi Cousin, but it is all in English, and it is a lot more minimal, so it doesn't have the colors that the Hobonichi has. Um, and then it has these trackers. I love these trackers. I go into these a lot more when I review my goals. But March I have set up again. Has these nice horizontal trackers. And then it has a page like this with each month in the quarter. And I like to use this for my when did I last. And then over here, just kind of things that I need to get done, or notes about the things that I did over here. So for example, I got my car serviced. And so I just wrote some notes about what I did with that. And then there's a blank page, and then we go into the month. You've got these 3 boxes for each month, and then this really nice grid page. And then you have just a regular month. And then you have a page, 2 blank pages after the month. So if we were to look at April, because April's not done yet, um, we've got this really nice page before the month. You've got, since this is a new quarter, April's a new quarter, I have a blank page here, but normally it would be the end of the month has those boxes for a recap. Um, And then we have this really nice, very clean, minimal layout, and it doesn't have any colors. It doesn't have any of the holidays or anything like that. I am a former Hobonichi user. I used Hobonichi for 2 years, and I absolutely love the cousin. But this is a really nice, more minimal look to it. And any stickers that you get for the Hobonichi will work in here. It does have a very similar size. So in my last week's spread, I used Helen's, the Coffee Monsters Co. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her, but I used one of her Hobonichi kits, and so you can see these boxes fit very nicely in here. The Hobonichi cousin size boxes. And so after the month, you have 2 blank pages. Right now, I am using that for a what we watched, right? So I printed out these little teeny tiny posters for all the TV shows, and we watched the Super Bowl and movies, things like that that I watch on TV. Oh, good. Another The Coffee Monsters co-fan. You'll fit in perfectly here. Um, so I'm using these 2 pages for that, but you could do budgeting or anything like that. You just get 2 nice, clean blank pages. And then it goes right into the week after the month. And so the Hobonichi has all the months together and then all the weeks together and then all the days together. This planner goes in chronological order instead. So you have, you have your monthly page and then you have 2 blank pages and then you go right into the weekly pages. So you've got, or to the week. So you've got this week here and then you have a blank page after the week. Now I use that one for an Alistair task list. So this is this week that I just finished planning, and this is my Alistair task list for the week on this blank page. So if we look at last week, let's see, the Alistair list, we have got, so this is last week's list, right? So I use it this way. So I just put my tasks here and then the days that I need to do them. I can mark with a dot marker. If I look back at another version, like here, so this is my Alistair task list for this week. And then if I have blank space left at the end, I just use it as an opportunity to put one of my bigger stickers in here. Um, Sometimes it's a Coffee Monsters Co. Vinyl, sometimes not. This is I got some pre-sale washi and I swatched it here. So I always open those on camera, by the way, when I get my Coffee Monsters orders. And then, so then it has a page for each day. Unlike Hobonichi, it doesn't have the timeline down the side. It is just a very nice plain blank page for each day of the week. And it does have, this planner does have Sunday and Saturday and Sunday as separate. So they don't combine them on a page. Some planners do that. And then you go to the next week. So you move through this planner very chronologically. So there's not as much for me flipping back and forth. You're not flipping to the weekly section and then the monthly and the daily and all of that kind of thing. And then in the back, we have got our just some blank pages. So at the very back, after we finish, in this case, it is June that we're finishing because this is a 2-part, right? So I've got volume 1 right now, and I will finish this in June and start the next book. And then I can recap quarter 2, and then I go on to what are essentially just blank pages. Now I've put in a future log here because I like to do my future log this way, and some other things that I have already added in, but these pages here in the back are just blank pages. Every page in the book is numbered, so if you don't want to use my system of using the Calendex as an index, it's super easy to use all the pages and have page numbers all the way through. So it's not just the notes section that's numbered, which I really, really like because you do have all these nice opportunities with blank pages throughout. So, like this page at the end of a week. And then if you use this for something that you want to index, you still have the opportunity to index it by the page number. So that is really, really nice. And that's it. It goes through to the very end. And otherwise, it is very, very similar to the format, if you're used to the Hobonichi, this is not a very difficult transition. So if you're looking for kind of an alternative that has more of the, you know, English and doesn't have all the Hobonichi colors to it, this is a super nice layout. And again, you can still do all of the really fun, layouts that you would do in washi tape and everything. So anyway, that was my quick little spiel. I did a whole walkthrough on this because I do have this in both the vertical and the horizontal this year. So when I unboxed them, I did an unboxing video. And I went through each planner when they were perfectly clean. I mean, I didn't have any of my writing in them. So if you're interested in that, definitely go back and look at my videos. I want to say it was early December, and you'll see an unboxing for just Scribble, um, planner unboxing. In fact, I wonder if I can, maybe I can drop a link to that video in here. Let me see if I can get you a link to that in here in the chat. So I know what it's like when you see a new planner and you want to see all the things about the planner. And you don't want to have to go searching. So yeah, the paper is really nice. This is not the Tomoa River paper this year. Um, and I dropped it in the chat, but I will also drop it in the, well, let's see, I can drop it in the description here. Let me go back to the description of this live. And I'm going to update the description. Just so that you have everything. I like to make things convenient when I can. So, okay, the description is updated. So in the description of this video or this live that you're watching now, if you were to refresh it, you would see a line in there with a link that says, as discussed, here's the Just Scribble Planner unboxing. So there you go. The Happy Planner is nice. But yeah, for me, the rings are too much because I bang my planner about. I close it up, I throw it in a purse, I take it here and there and everywhere. And so I like to have the bound book. Those Happy Planner rings tend to kind of migrate away from my planner, if you will. And then everything gets a bit chaotic. So for me. So I did not have good luck with the Happy Planner. I tried it once a while ago, long time ago, and it just didn't work with how I use my planner. And so I prefer the bound books as well. But the Hobonichi, there's so many pages and so many areas that I can't use. So there were always the Japanese quotes, which are quite charming, but I found myself covering them up with washi every single day. And then, your book starts to bulk up at the bottom. And then having the colors kind of predetermined for you throughout the planner is a bit much for me. It wasn't necessarily my favorite thing. So I have really liked stumbling onto this where I can plan in kind of that similar style, but I I'm not bound by their color scheme or all of the added elements. I know a lot of people like all that added stuff in the Hobonichi. That is part of its charm. But for me, that was something that I didn't necessarily mind, but wasn't my favorite part of the planner. So this actually takes all of my favorite parts of the planner and brings them into just a very nice minimal layout. So I've been really happy in here this year. I tend to do my planning. So I just finished planning this month here. This was on Thursday that I did March. I tend to plan the middle of the month before. And so I can still go. And from this point forward, this is all still, blank and waiting. Um, because I do tend to plan as I go and not pre-plan too much. So anyway, um, but I think we're just about done. You hit right at the end. I would love for you to come and join a full plan with me next weekend if you want. I do plan these live plan with me is every single Sunday. So if you kind of deep dive down a rabbit hole and you have additional questions, you can always come back next Sunday. I will be here and I will answer any questions that you have. And also on any of the videos that I post, I always do read the comments and I'll respond if you have questions or comments. I also, as you're looking at planner alternatives, I do an alternate plan with me every week in a uh, Rosy Life Flow planner. This is a hybrid planner. So this is a B6, so it's a bit smaller. Um, it has the vertical weekly followed by a horizontal weekly. Um, Plans by Just Scribble also has a version of that format as well. Uh, so I look forward to getting to chat with you more as we go forward. So I post the alternate plan with me's in this on Mondays. So you can check those out as well. Um, so thank you so much for joining me, both you and Keisha. It was great to have you guys with me. This is where I'm going to leave it. I was mentioning to Keisha earlier, I do fill in a lot more as the week progresses, typically, sometimes not. So, but my weeks tend to be a bit more full um, after the week is over. So I'm going to try and figure out a way to kind of take you along on that process as I add more things throughout the week. But this is a good basic structure for me. So thanks for joining me, guys. I will see you next time. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you so much. Bye.